like it when new music comes out on a Friday that I'm actually kind of excited for.
That sounds like Friday.
Yeah.
It has an essence of Friday to it.
I love it when Led
Hey,
Zeppelin
Kevin.
puts a new record out.
Sounds like we got us a third.
Yeah, we do. We do, actually. It's been a while.
Yeah, Daryl,
Austin.
you've
That was
changed.
fun.
You're browner. You're bigger. God damn, man.
Yeah, Austin was the last time we had a third.
Right. And
That's,
before that, it had been a even pretty more decent stretch.
Yeah. Well, as people know, it is the one and only Ruben that joins us like, the third time now?
Ba-da!
Da-da-da-da-da.
Dun, 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 dun,
Pretty good
dun,
entrance
dun.
music.
Did Greta Van Fleet just drop an album?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, it came out today.
That is the anthem of the Peaceful Army, which is kind of an awkward little name, I guess. So.
Yeah. It's I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect because we heard so little out of it.
They put out one. They did one pre-release, and that was on When the Curtain Falls, and that's fine. It didn't blow my socks off, and that was what I was kind of worried about. Like, God damn, I might be looking at their sophomore record and might not live up to expectations.
Well, we were talking about that yesterday, that your second album is kind of the biggest album you can put out.
It's critical.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a great opening release, fucking great, but your second record better be on par or better than the first.
Ruben, you know any bands that their first album kicked ass, but that second album just didn't do it?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot.
They're called Pearl Jam. That's the,
Ooh, man. God, that would piss a lot of people off if more people listened to it. How dare this man talk about Pearl Jam?
Shots fired. 10 was fucking. That was the perfect record. For them.
Versus was good. But that was an EP.
Yeah, but it was the follow up, and it didn't have the gas that 10
That's
had,
true.
You know,
when an EP outdoes an album, man.
Well, in the case of Pearl Jam, it was the opposite. That Versus was. That was a look at things to come. It's like, oh man,
that's a long EP though. God, there's like 8 or 9 tracks on that fucking thing.
Shit.
Yeah,
almost an album.
Because that one had a live on it, right?
No, that was 10.
Oh, God damn it! There was one song.
Look at
on
the
Versus.
track listing. Look at the track listing on Versus, and you will find, oh yeah, that wasn't all that great.
Yeah, I might have rose-colored glasses with this shit.
Because that was on 10.
Yeah, Versus is a legitimate fucking studio album. Let me pull up this track.
Yeah, man, I was like, quick. EP. Fuck, that's the longest EP I've ever seen.
Oh right, it was Daughter. That's the only one that stands out to me. Is Daughter.
Yeah, man. And that one that caught a little bit of push for a week or two. Was the Old Woman something? I don't know, long title on it, but
elderly woman behind the counter in a small town.
Yeah, but yeah, Daughter was kind of that was the big one, and that was like, oh well, this may not be as great as 10. No, that album flopped.
You know, Vedder only wrote 2 songs on that album.
Yeah,
God damn. Oh, maybe that might be why.
But then you sit back, and if you're a Pearl Jam fan like I was at the time, then you go like, well. The third one's got to be better than this. No, it's Vitalogy. Vitalogy was horrible.
94 was not a good year.
I mean, Nothing Man was on there, and that was about it on that one. And after that, I gave up. I said, Pearl Jam's apparently just here to get my money.
Yeah, and that's even more clear now than it's ever been. You know.
Yeah, the anti-capitalists themselves, that's what they're here for.
Pretty soon they'll be auto-uploading whole albums onto your iPod without your consent.
Yeah, you're just like you too.
Yep.
We're all about the music, man.
It'd be about the cheddar.
All about the music, man.
God, man. It's been a really good day for music. We had the Greta Van Fleet.
That's the only one.
When did that drop?
Today.
Oh.
New Disturbed dropped today.
Evolution?
Yeah, which all I can really say about it is if you like Disturbed, you're going to like this album. There's not a lot of deviation from nothing. It's Disturbed.
They're also kicking off a tour with 3 Days Grace.
Yeah, they're going to be in Albuquerque in November, I think.
Albuquerque's a very disturbed town.
Yeah, no shit.
Disturbed shit.
Soulfly, new album came out today, Ritual.
Oh, is it today?
Yep. See, man, that's why you need to come here more often. We can actually fill you in on shit.
They're kicking off a big tour in 2019 also with Insight and Cataclysm.
Incest and who?
Incest and Catechism.
Is that like a cat rock band?
Yeah.
But Kevin's, that Greta Van Fleet album is, it's, I know there's going to be something in it that I'm going to see or hear a couple weeks down the road.
Well,
that
there's a
might
few.
be like a critique.
No, there's a few that I can listen to right now, and I'm not a huge
Yeah.
fan. I'm not a huge fan. But man, there are some other ones though. Musically, these guys took a jump forward, and that's what you want.
Right.
I mean, if you and the critics are going to give him even more shit, going, "No, this sounds a lot like Led Zeppelin." Fuck yourself.
Yeah, we're past that.
Yeah,
we are so fucking past that.
You know, I mean, I joke about it because it's the easy joke to make. It's a lazy man's joke, but they have progressed musically far beyond From the Fires.
Sure.
You
Oh,
know, and
absolutely.
From the Fires was an EP. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
You know, so this is their first full-length studio album, and it's got some really good shit.
Yeah,
It really
a
does.
lot of growth has been shown, I think.
It's not as heavy, I would say, as From the Fires.
Yeah, a little more mellow. Lot like that Anthem jam was like weird.
Yeah,
Weird, not in a bad way, just not really what I expected out of a Greta Van Fleet album.
right.
But is it a jammer? This new album, something you?
It's a
you
jam.
you can
It's
jam it?
an enjoyable album.
Yeah, it's a good journey. It's a good journey, but
Well-
but like I said, there are a couple of valleys I see. It's like not my favorite, but that's fine.
Right.
It doesn't have to be. You know?
Oh no, it's better than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, I had my expectations set a little low just out of safety,
Yeah,
but I don't think that makes it any worse. I think it's a solid. I'd give it like 7.5 out of 10.
I'm glad to hear the kid is actually not screeching some of those vocals like he did on From the Fires. 'Cause
Right.
That's a good way to make sure you're not singing that. You're not going to be able to do your own tunes in your 30s.
Right. Yeah, that dude just has a certain kind of voice, man, where he can belt those high notes with power,
Yeah.
like ridiculous amounts of volume.
And this record feels like he kind of put his foot on the brake a little bit, which he needed to do anyway.
Right.
You know, there's no sense in wrecking yourself, you know, at a young age. So
The only album I have that I can talk about, because I've been listening to it all fucking day. It's not a metal album. It's not even a pop album, folk album. It's nothing like that. It's a fucking soundtrack. It is a soundtrack to the new Halloween movie that's coming out today. Oh my God, that John Carpenter directed, wrote, and scored writ and scored in it the first Halloween movie. He also scored, I believe, Halloween 2 and 3, the one that didn't have Michael Myers, and they tried to turn it into a anthology style kind of movie series without your main serial killer, and that, of course, is doomed to failure from the start.
them's the kind of scores that'll score you a blonde on each arm.
But John Carpenter is kind of at the forefront of a musical genre that's really picking up a lot of popularity these days. And it's like, I don't know if it's called synth wave or dark wave. Synth heavy horror music has become pretty popular these days.
Seems weird to me to just go cruising through town, jamming fucking horror soundtracks, though.
Yeah, well, it's I figure it's more for your man cave.
Oh, okay.
When you're going on a journey. I don't think it's really cruising music. You got to be a certain kind of person to like put on track 3 of the Halloween soundtrack and be like, yeah, motherfuckers.
Kind of person wearing like a grain sack fucking hood or a hockey mask.
Oh man, it's a great. It's so cool to hear John Carpenter come back and do the entire soundtrack for this new movie. If the movie sucks, at least we got a kick-ass soundtrack out of it.
Didn't you have a complaint, though?
About
The soundtrack, the naming of the tracks, I guess?
oh yeah, fuck. I haven't seen the movie yet. It came out today. And I was looking at the track listing this afternoon. I was like, oh, this is great. Oh, man, all the name, Laurie Strode song, how cool. And one of the tracks, you might want to jump ahead about 15 seconds if you plan on seeing this movie, is called The Shape Burns. I'm like, oh, well, there you go then. I mean, I knew he was going to fucking get offed.
Sure.
I didn't want to know how. So, I mean, I'm still going to go see it, but I'm hoping that maybe that's vague enough where there's like a twist. There's got to be a
maybe.
twist. It's a horror movie. But it kind of
'cause
pissed me off a little
Gotta
bit.
love that.
He's been burned before, and he still keeps coming back.
Yeah, well, this movie is actually, they're only paying attention to the very first movie. All the other sequels are being ignored.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is this like because I mean, this is not Rob Zombie, right?
No, it's not a reboot.
Totally
it's not a reboot. It's not a remake. It's a direct sequel of the first movie.
of the first
Of the
one.
very first movie. So basically, 1978's Halloween came out, and then 40 years later, this one came out.
Ah.
Not bad.
I think every 20 years they have to do like some kind of weird anniversary show because 20 years ago they put out Halloween H2O because it was a 20year anniversary and it had Jamie Lee Curtis in it again.
Oh, the woman that sells the shit yogurt on
Yeah,
TV.
the good old shit moving yogurt. and she's back again looking. That's us. I don't know what's the female term for a silver fox.
I think Silver Fox.
Silver fox. I guess it
I don't
does
know
work
what the
both
male
ways,
term
doesn't it?
is, but
I figured it was silver fox for a dude as well.
Really?
You'd still hit that, right?
Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh fuck yeah, I'd destroy her. I would go through her like Activia. Son.
Would you give her your Halloweeny?
I'd put it in her back step. No, I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I think she's oddly hot, especially now. She's aged really well.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm not huge on that silver hair, but I like Jamie Lee Curtis from True Lies.
Now, goddamn it, yeah, no, she was, and that was a perfect blend because she was kind of like the nerdy housewife.
Yeah,
and then she started turning into this weird, secret, like covert ops stripper broad.
Yeah, the awkward stripper.
Her body was.
That's one of the greatest.
Her body
scenes
was
in that movie.
banging in that movie, man.
Yeah.
Well, did you ever see what was it? Trading Places? Had Dan Aykroyd in it?
Yeah.
She whipped her tits out of that.
Yeah.
And they're amazing.
Played the prostitute in that one. Took care of Dan Aykroyd.
That's
got
right.
it back on his feet.
I think Brandon mostly watches those movies to just to stare at her and breathe heavily.
Oh no, man! I'm almost 40 years old. I'm like I got the only way I can ejaculate is be hit by a bus.
God damn. So for the two ladies listening, we lost at least one.
Welcome to the Mead Metal MMA podcast.
Yeah, our metal portion's done, so let's move on to the mead.
And apparently the sexual health portion's also done.
Good God.
So we covered all the releases, right? Everything that's coming out?
Well, I mean the ones that are noteworthy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Have you heard anything new?
No, I guess what you said is what I've heard coming out.
That's right. Jump on our bandwagon.
Kind of put on the
bandwagon.
blinders when Greta Van Fleet came out. I was like, I'm not even going to research shit today.
Yeah,
So.
I didn't really delve too much because a lot of the releases I've already heard their music, like the Soulfly. I've heard that one jam. Can't even remember the name of it. And I heard the single from Disturbed. I'm like, cool, I got it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be anything else that's going to blow me away after this.
Gave some thought of trying to, since this is episode 99, I thought, well, do I want to go with like some weird thing of trying to find songs that have to do with 99? And no.
What about the one about the hairy armpit woman about the red balloons?
Red balloons and Nina, right? Was her name?
Red balloon. Oh,
Yeah,
99 Luft
Nina.
balloons.
Something.
And then Prince with 1999. You know, but
That shit. Yeah. That one's a bit of a stretch.
A little bit. And I thought, yeah, you know what? Fuck, none of that has shit to do with what we're doing.
Let's just play Greta Van Fleet all day.
Yeah, that's it. So anyway, we get together weekly, talk about mead, metal, and MMA. We've already kind of touched on one of those subjects. How's your week?
Well, my friends, we're at a crossroads.
Yeah, okay. No, that's terrible.
And we all fell down on our knees. Huh?
Yeah.
See you
Pardon me.
at the crossroads.
So, some shit happened at work.
Oh.
And that's usually how the conversation
Lord
starts.
Almighty, something happened at your job
Yeah,
again?
that's usually how the conversation starts.
Some shit went down at the
But
Super
it was all from within. I'm not gonna name any names.
crack pipe.
That's right. Thank you, Ruben, for being so sympathetic in my trying time here. So there's the Sunday group that I've talked about them multiple times on this show. Don't do shit.
Employees.
Employees,
I was
yeah.
expecting
Yeah,
us to
no,
go into,
not-
like,
not
some weird
people.
like, criminal thing.
We're talking from within here.
Okay.
The Sunday crew that don't do dick. So I get in last Sunday. Nothing has been done. Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. So I lose it. Because I've kind of been a little strained with my job. I think it's kind of shown through the podcast sometimes.
Right.
Well, now it can shine through in all its power and glory. This job is straining my mind. So I had to get my feelings out because clearly getting it out to the higher ups didn't get anything done. So I'm going to hit the cause directly. I talked to this girl for like 15 minutes, telling her exactly what she was doing wrong. Not in the nicest way. I'll be the first one to admit, not in the nicest way.
Did you use the proper leadership protocol of also pointing out her good things that she brings to the table?
No, because I'm not a leader.
I got to tell you, you suck. And if you're waiting for me to say something about but, no.
No, there's no but. That's the end of my sentence. Do you have anything to add? So
And you're not a supervisor.
No, I mean, at the very most, you could probably call me a night manager. But even then, I don't manage shit except the 8 hours I'm there, and I keep the lights on and make sure everything that needs to buzz and whistle buzzes and whistles. After 15 minutes, I feel like the conversation went really well. I really did. I thought it did. Because I talked to her like how my grandfather would talk to me if I'd been fucking up.
You're fucking up, boy.
Pretty well. I used some fuckings in there, but
Wow.
this is a lady, so I didn't want to verbally assault her, but I also wanted to point out shit she was fucking up, where she could improve, and to stop doing that,
Right.
and to do her job.
Lady, I hate to tell you, but you're as fucked up as a football bat.
Where the fuck is that from?
I don't know.
You just make that up?
Yeah.
Man, that's going to be put on a T-shirt. We need to trademark that bitch. So I do that, and I feel half good. I got to get the other half out, but I can't do it right now because that motherfucker don't come in until the next day. So when I go on Monday, I do the exact same thing. Only with this dude, it takes me solid 20 minutes because he's a bit of an idiot.
A bit.
Yeah.
Not a full-fledged idiot, just a bit of one.
Yeah, he's one of these motherfuckers who's like, well, I'm not going to do my job, but I am going to try to make little changes in the front desk area, move shit around that's been in one spot for 3 fucking years and move that to a completely different spot. Like, it took me an hour to find a calculator.
Jesus.
A goddamn calculator that's been at the goddamn cashier for 3 fucking years. So, I didn't bring that up, but that's one thing to fuel my rage and make me want to talk to this guy. I do the same thing. I let him know what he's fucking doing wrong, and I tell him how to do things fucking right and to stop being an idiot. Well, next day rolls around, and apparently they got a hold of the owners in Albuquerque, and they were a little bummed out with how I treated them with my words.
Of course, it's 2018. Hurt their feelings. I'm shocked the chick didn't say, it was part of the whole Me Too thing.
Exactly. Well, I'm shocked they didn't go there either. I've mentioned on this show many times that, like, when I train a female at that job for the overnight, they believe I'm a goddamn rapist until they get to know me till the end of the shift. Like, oh, he's not that bad a guy.
You didn't assume their gender, did you?
Fucking, I don't assume anything with anyone these days because I don't care enough to fucking do it.
You can't go run around as a cis male in this day and age.
That's right. The old cis. God damn, I fucking
I don't
hate
even
that
know where
word.
the fuck that came from.
The internet, everywhere. This is where all this shit comes from. So now I have a meeting on Tuesday to chat with these 2 individuals higher up from the hotel and my boss at the hotel now. I don't use the microphone to scratch your beard, dude. I can hear it in my headphones.
Jesus.
Damn, those are some good microphones.
Yeah. So basically, we're going to have a meeting and have a little chat. And I don't know how it's going to end up, but I guarantee you I have more evidence proving what I did was right than what I did was wrong.
God, you might convince them that maybe you're primed for running some shit around here.
Well, if they ever offer me that, I'm going to tell them to go fuck themselves.
No, I just like to point out other shortcomings.
Right.
I don't want to run shit.
I mean, yeah, I just don't you want everyone to do their goddamn jobs? I do my goddamn job. Other than that, my week sucked.
Oh, well.
Tuesday, you got a meeting coming up?
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it anymore, man.
Yeah, it's all good.
How was your week, duder?
Kind of pretty uneventful compared to yours, actually.
Yeah,
I guess.
well, I made all the events myself this round.
I didn't have to lay into anybody, so I had
to
that
bloody
going.
no one up.
Yeah. Work was. I mean, I didn't want to say I was mailing it in. I was just kind of in that mode where you put the car in drive and you just hit the gas and there it goes.
And once you're there, you got there.
Yeah. Worked on some tunes this week a little bit. I think I'm about at the point where I'm. The one fucking problem I have is when it comes time to trying to write lyrics out for anything. That's not really my gig.
Yeah, dude, I find it really difficult to write lyrics.
And I was working on some other stuff with my friend Dave a few years ago,
right.
And it was cool. Division of labor was great. I just had to come up with some catchy kind of riff stuff, and he came up with lyrics, and it worked out fine. He did fine at what he did. I did okay at what I did. and it was an easy division of labor. Now we got me and you, and we're fucking pretty similar. And the fact is, like, shit, I don't want to have to write lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried a couple times, just kind of put pen to paper and just, try to build something, but it is really difficult.
Yeah.
It really is.
So I don't know. Once upon a time, they had prescribed me like some Percocet when I went to the dentist a few years ago, and really they got me that, and I had a bottle of Glenlivet, and I found my songwriting actually was stellar at the time. So maybe I need to just get myself a little fuckered up and get myself on some Percocet and get a bottle of scotch, and maybe I'll be able to get in that wheelhouse again.
God damn.
Yeah.
Let me know if it works. I'll try that shit out.
Ruben, shit, man. Ruben, by the way, if you haven't really caught him in previous episodes here of the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast from Alone in the Room, that's his project. How do you come up with your shit, anyway?
Like my lyrics?
Yeah.
Or what? I sit alone in a room and...
So it's not just a catchy title.
Yeah, but and you have a whole house, so technically your band's alone in a room, but you're really alone in a house.
Yeah.
Alone on a property.
There you
go. What I'll do is everybody has their own way. With lyrics, I'll brainstorm and do like a little rough draft. I'll jot down a bunch of random ideas like brainstorming,
Right.
Then I'll go over it and be like, does this make any sense? And I'll rewrite it again to where it like makes sense a little bit better. And to me, lyrics, it's not that hard. I just got to get a theme going in my head, and then I'll stick to that theme, and then I'll just throw a bunch of lyrics around that theme.
Do you write out of personal experience, or do you just fucking...
A mix of everything. Sometimes some of it's personal experience, some of it's storytelling, some of it's imagination, creativity,
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just dig into the dictionary, and it helps me learn new words, too, when I do that, too.
Sure.
Right on.
You ever follow somebody with Tourette's around with a legal pad?
That'd be some hell of research right there, man. God damn.
So y'all get writer's block pretty bad or what?
I wouldn't call it writer's block. I would just
writer's
call it
starting block. That's what that is.
I've had that before. I mean, from time to time it happens, and you're like, "Damn, today's not the day." No, it's just really difficult. You have to wait for it to like really hit you, and you'll be like, "Oh shit! Right now, I better do this right now, or I'm not going to get motivated." Yeah, you really have to wait for it to hit you, man. Because if you're not feeling it and it's not hitting you, you're like, "Damn, I'll just go do something else." Fucking. But yeah, it has to hit you, man.
Yeah. Fucking sage words from Ruben.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we bring him around.
That's right.
For the big episodes.
We need to sound smart. 99 left belongs.
Let's plus one. Yeah, I guess we're good for How's the Week segment.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking done. I like nearly blew my throat out.
Yeah,
yelling about that shit.
Yeah, my problem is I've been steady sobriety now. I mean, 2 weeks in now.
Yeah.
So. I find my life is not nearly as adventurous. So
yeah, and I'm into like week 2 of realizing just how much I really drink. So, thank you.
It's like,
complete sobriety.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah, man. It's
okay.
It's
a little detox.
Yeah, and I intend to retox during Veterans Week, coming up like second week in November. So,
okay.
So I thought
really
about
like
a
that
month
a lot.
probably wouldn't hurt. I mean,
yeah.
And I got a big doctor's appointment coming up, and I've been having some weird health issues, and I want them to bitch at me. So I figure, I'll go ahead and clean up my shit before they tell me to. So.
And you want accurate results too,
But not really. I kind of want to skew them to where I look healthier than I actually am.
There's an episode of Metalocalypse where the band. They're like, you guys got to go get fucking, I was about to say facials. Not facials. Physicals. Physicals. There you go.
Right.
You got to go get physicals. Clearly your health is terribly bad. And they're like, hey, we're going to go to the doctor, and they're going to find out everything's fucking wrong with us.
Yeah.
How do we get out of this? And they're like, let's just fucking drink bleach. So they all drink bleach.
Oh my god,
that's like fatal shit.
Well, this is a cartoon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, yeah, I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah, no, don't go that far. Don't
anybody
throw
listening,
mothballs down the
don't try that at home. Don't try this at home. Don't drink bleach.
Yes, listen to Ruben.
Don't drink bleach.
The more you know.
Although, if you're the asshole that decided to park and take up 4 spaces at Walmart, I'd recommend you drink some bleach.
Yeah,
antipods.
I'd say lock your vehicle, put bleach and ammonia in a bottle, and open that bitch and just enjoy the ride.
Wash it down with some Tide Pods.
God damn.
Tide Pods.
All right, that is the rage portion of the podcast this week. Get into the mead part. One batch underway. We're going to be starting another one, though, here pretty soon. Actually, working on label stuff, which usually is kind of more of an end stage kind of a thing for us. But it'd be nice to kind of get that out of the way, because being a boutique batch as it is, I kind of need to get the guy buying the batch to kind of sign off on it.
Sure.
I kind of got an initial kind of thing laid down, and I'm going to go back and change it. Talked with him today, actually, and I'm going to change up the kind of the layout of the label a little bit, but should have probably the label good to go within a week. I think
nice.
if I have the time to just sit and just work on it, because I have to kind of get in a particular zone.
Yeah,
because I do labels pixel by pixel.
Well, when you're rocking that shit on MS Paint, that's the fact that you're able to do what you do on that fucking thing is amazing.
Yeah. Well, and it is. It's all pixel by pixel.
Yeah.
And it might sound like, well, isn't there better shit out there? Probably, but that's the way I like to do it.
Right.
Because I can alter shades by pixel.
Yeah, and you know your way around.
Same here. We've had a lot of practice with MS Paint. I guess that's why we're comfortable with it.
Yeah. I mean, it's every label we've done, it's MS Paint. Every single fucking one of them.
Yeah, the occasional label like the Green Man, that was added to the label, and then the label was printed out like the logos.
Yeah, but even so, an MS Paint only likes squares. It doesn't like round shapes. So any round shape, that means I have to go back and fill it in. So
that's why we always had to rock super high resolution stuff. That way, the jagged edges of the image wouldn't come through.
Right. Well, that's
and the fact you went in there with fucking paintbrush, tap tap tap.
Yeah,
tap,
no, it is a single pixel by single
some
pixel.
Painstaking shit right there.
So that's why label design takes me about a week once I sit down and start it.
Yeah, when we say handmade, we fucking mean handmade.
Yeah. So
top to bottom.
But anyway, we got started on that. We're still in secondary fermentation. We haven't racked it or anything else yet. I talked to the client, trying to get him to come out here so he can sample it. Because I mean, it's fine and dandy for you and I, and we may very well give it a try here in a little bit.
Well, we haven't tried it with the when we did the addition of the apple.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks, 3 weeks actually, since we moved it, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So it's a matter of sitting down and pulling it, and it's fine if you and I like it, but that's really unimportant to the whole grand scheme of things. We really kind of need him or his representative to come out. And let us know if that's the direction that they want this to go.
Yeah. What batch is this?
This one's a specialized batch. We actually have been hired, I guess. They've retained our services as mead makers as we are to do a case batch. Oh. And it's a case batch of green chili and apple. Oh. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. We'll probably go ahead and give it a sample here in a little bit, because I am kind of curious, because I made an apple concentrate from scratch, because the regular apple concentrates you get on the store shelves have got a fucking bunch of corn syrup and shit in it,
Yeah.
And you get a fake flavor out of it,
and you run the risk of reactivating fermentation as well.
Because of the fact it is so heavy and corn syrup breaks down so slowly, you could restart, a fermentation. And you can ask my brother Daryl what happens when you wake up in the middle of the night and you think somebody's broke in your apartment, and it turns out, no, it was just a cork being launched across your apartment and thereby spilling a bottle of mead across your floor. Yeah.
Well, it's better than fucking leaving it in your car on a hot day.
Well, that happens as well. So yeah, but
so the pressure built up in the bottle and just shot the cork out.
Yeah.
Well, the fermentation kicked off, so it became carbonated basically.
Yeah, and that was one that was we kind of sitting around. We kind of liked it. It's like, it's kind of effervescent. Yeah, it's well and good, but if you've moved it around, or if you keep your apartment particularly warm, as Austin can be,
right?
Then that'll cause a cork to come launching. And on top of that, I think we'd use like number 8s on the corks instead of 9s. It was a whole comedy of errors that went on with that whole thing.
Even down to the honey.
Yeah,
I think we might have picked a lackluster honey.
Right. It's the whole process, and that was on the Sacred Tree batch, which I would like to probably consider revisiting that one here in a year or two, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, so the batch we're working on, though, it's essentially a kind of a hybrid of Sacred Tree and Green Man. And then the green chilies that are in it, those are the ones I grew. So yeah, those are some obnoxious little cocksuckers. So we'll see what happens out of that.
Could be good.
So it's each and every ingredient matters.
Oh, absolutely.
Learned each one is critical.
Yeah, I mean, the label might be pixel by pixel. Well, whatever the equivalent of that is on making the batch, that's the same stroke we take, and I mean, and that's, and we do run a case discount if we do something like this. If somebody's got like a wedding coming up or something like that, or a birthday or a bris, then we will end up. If they want to consign us to make a batch, then we will absolutely do so. And it's cheaper to do it that way, too. Because
you heard them, folks, just in case you're wondering.
Yeah. And the bris was a joke, by the way. So that's a running joke on this show.
Yeah, we talk about circumcision here a lot.
All the time. It's like Magellan circumcised the world, right? That's the...
And a case equals how many? What does it equal?
12 750 milliliter bottles.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he's and we have a base price level that we kind of start at, and then if it's a real pain in the ass, that base price goes up a little bit. But but nonetheless, though, it's got to be for him and his ranch, and so it's
it's basically gonna be batch like, you want one? Well, you better know this dude,
right? Yeah,
because we're not going to have it for sale.
No. I mean, that we might be able to get an owner's bottle out of this, and it depends on how much we have to rack it, really, because you're going to have probably a ballpark of about 5 to 8% loss on each racking. So we may not even be able to. I mean, we might have to make ourselves happy with just having some samples.
Yeah, might have to buy a bottle from him.
yeah, exactly. But nonetheless, though, that's kind of the Mead update for the week. We'll be starting another batch pretty soon. That's a batch we're going to be able to look at for 2019, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're wanting to theme it, at all on the next batch that we do, which will be a full 5-gallon run.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm open to suggestions. Clearly, I've got a hell of an herb garden going out there. If we wanted to revisit Scarborough Fair, we certainly could, although not with that batch. We'll have to wait till next summer.
Right. Yeah, doing it with that clover honey, because that Scarborough Fair batch, it ended up becoming pretty good at the last bottle.
And I would say that that's probably going to be true of every one of them that we do.
Yeah,
they only get better
this
with
one,
age.
the honey, we kind of fucked up on. Fermentation kicked up again because it was a little carbonated, and it became really, really clear.
Yeah.
Remember how clear it became? So I think if we were to do it again, but with that Texas clover honey, it could be a pleasant fucking surprise.
Right. So, I mean, that's a thought, we'd have to look at next summer because, again, my herb garden's pretty well done for the year after.
Yeah. A drink of that ilk, you want that in the summer.
Have an old man winter come knocking this week, so.
Yeah, right in mid-October. That's kick-ass.
I mean, any number of things. I mean, if we wanted to revisit Runestone, we could. And that's one that Ruben had provided the rune on that one, the artwork side of that.
Yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. But, that's something we could do. I mean, that one was basically an orange. Was it an orange and cinnamon? I forget. I'd have to go back. Orange and vanilla. It was because you called it like the creamsicle drink. Yeah.
Do me a favor and pick up your phone. Okay, we can't have Ruben's phone on the table.
Oh, well. Yeah. Are we getting the...
Yeah, I'm like hearing it on my board. I'm like, God, what is that?
Sounds like hummingbird wings.
It's the signal, huh?
Yeah. Just put it over there if and you don't mind. Okay. God damn. That's a sensitive little fucking board we got.
Yeah. Yep.
And some phones have a stronger signal, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, and it's right there within inches of the boards.
Okay. Yeah. So lot of electric technology going on here.
Electricity.
That's the Mead side of it. The metal side, we already kind of touched on it for releases and everything else this week. What's going on with Alone in the Room? Are you working on some things for a second release?
Yeah, I saw something about a pre-order.
I'm working on a second album, and I'm kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of fucked up right now because like on the website it looks like I'm about to drop the album, but I still got a long ways to go.
I know, that's why it says like you're already accepting pre-orders.
I'm gonna put like 15 tracks on the album, and I got maybe like 3 or 4.
Because I'm not trying to throw in a bus, but
I got 3 or 4 instrumentals, not even vocals on there.
But your first album,
I want to hype everybody up because like when people get real hyped up and they push. I like it. It motivates me whenever people like. I feed off the energy when people are like, "Hey, where's the album? When's it coming?" And it really motivates me to get in the studio more. And like the other night, I stood up all night working on the album cover. It's not it's almost finalized, but I'm doing some touch ups on it. And but yeah, I am kind of But once I get to it, though, I can move a little bit faster than when I did the first record because I know how to I know the process a lot better.
There's no better motivation than Hamiltons and Jacksons and maybe even some Benjamins.
But yeah, only y'all know this. That really, I'm promoting it like it's ready, like the album's already ready, but the album's not. I'm barely at the fucking beginning of it.
Yeah. I know, that's why I said you were like on Facebook accepting pre-orders.
But remember, you did your pre-order
I bought it first, and it came out a fucking year later.
I just like to get people hyped up way in advance.
Sure.
Right. It could be a year till it's done.
You're like Rockstar Games.
It could be a year. Yeah. I like to get people real hyped up about it. That way they keep bugging me. Where is it, man? Where is it? And I'll be like, well,
You're either like Rockstar Games or Yari Menapa.
You don't want to go that route.
Yeah. And there's one you want to be and one you don't want to be.
God, can you throw Maynard in the same category then?
If you're talking about Tool, yeah, because now we got a new APC. But, I mean, it didn't cleanse my palate and get me ready for Tool. I still want that Tool album.
Yeah. God, and I don't even think it's Maynard at this point.
I think it's Adam. The whole fucking. It's a Maynard Adam Jones thing.
Yeah.
That drummer's just there to get his job done.
Right.
Adam Jones just needs to fucking get those riffs going.
Yeah, because I mean, we were hopeful that we'd have a release by the end of 2018, and now it's already. It's going to be early. They're saying early 2019. Look for that shit about summertime. I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's going to be a long wait. I mean, the APC album was from 2004 to 2018, 14-year wait.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Tool, this new Tool, and it's going to have so many delays, man. I'm sure it
already has.
I'm sure it'll have another delay too.
It's going to. This is not the end.
We're used to it already. I expect it already.
It's it really sucks, but I mean, everyone's when it comes out, people are going to fucking buy it.
Yeah, well, and you better really, really enjoy it because maybe 14, 15 years later before
this might be the last Tool album you get.
Yeah, could be,
and that'd be all right. Tool's not what you call an active band.
No. I mean, but I would really like to see, I mean, there's so much talent within that band because I would like to then see them be freed of their bond and go out and find some other shit to do that I can enjoy, right?
Right.
Like Justin Chamberlain.
Does Adam Jones do anything outside of Tool?
No. But neither does Justin Chamberlain. That's what I want to see. I want to see
bass
that guy,
player, right?
Yeah. I want to see him go out and find some shit and find a really active band, unless that's just not what he's up for.
Is that your favorite member in the band, the bassist?
Yeah.
You like his work the most?
That dude.
He's your bass player picked in your... No, that was the one Daryl picked.
Because you and I both went, God damn it.
I went Les Claypool, yeah. I went Les Claypool, and then he fucking went... I was just like, God damn it, that's brilliant.
Yeah, no, my picks were fucking terrible.
And people are expecting, if this new Tool, it's got to rock. It's got to be heavy. It's none of this APC experiment with electronics and shit. No.
Yeah,
Tool is known to freaking to get down, man.
But Tool also has their own sound. There's no other band that sounds like Tool, and if they do, they're ripping off Tool.
They're heavy on percussion, man. A lot of bass and percussion.
There's a band, Richelieu. Not a Tool ripoff band, but they certainly get a lot of influence from them. The singer of Richelieu is actually a little more beefier than Maynard, in my opinion. But not taking anything away from any of it. But that's there's a lot of Tool wannabe bands out there because it's been so easy, man. 10,000 Days came out. Shit, we were living in Clovis when 10,000 Days came out. I bought it at Hastings 12 years ago. So it's 2006, 2007. It's been a long fucking time.
See, when the band Chevelle first came out, they were miserable because they were getting compared to Tool so much, and nowadays it's not as bad as when they first came out.
Yeah. Now it's just miserable because now they have to be in a band and they're all brothers.
At least they have an album every 2 years,
Well, but the market will support. I mean, there's clearly a hole for Tool. People want to hear a new Tool record. Well, and that's why you have these various bands that have a heavy fucking influence because there's a hole in the market. Shit, why not fill it?
If you have the Tool sound, you will sell. People will support you.
I told Brandon, I said, God, why are we being so hard on ourselves? Let's fucking just put on some Tool knockoff shit, Which that kind of led me into a pretty decent little riff we might visit. But yeah, that's...
Yeah, well, like I was telling Ruben, it's the influence is there. You can hear it in Richelieu,
absolutely.
You can hear it even a little bit in that first Lucid Planet album.
Oh, no,
you can hear it.
That first record on Lucid Planet, it's definitely there.
And Tool is a band that people are paying homage to.
Yeah.
That's a sound that they came up with.
What else we got going on for... by the way, birthdays today. The fucking genius behind Moon Sorrow, Once Upon a Time. He's kind of step back a little from that, but still definitely busy with Fintroll, and that is Henry Cervali.
It's so funny that he puts more time in Fintroll than Moonstar. It almost seems like he's kind of distanced himself from that whole thing.
Yeah, well, he doesn't tour with them anymore. He's still an active member as far as like recording shit goes, but Moonstar just put a record out not long ago, so
Umaltanoika is 2 years old.
Yeah, but we're in an era now where bands you can expect shit about every 4
and this
or 5
is
years.
like a top tier folk metal band.
Yeah, and let's also not forget that dude's got a real serious day job working for Ravio, the company that put together Angry Birds and shit like that. He's the guy behind the music for all of that shit. So God, man, that dude gets around. Yeah,
you're getting a lot of metal dudes that are like making music for video games. That's
especially if you're from Finland.
Oh God, that's what that guy's been doing for years.
Wow.
Outside of other birthdays, Floyd Mayweather's dad's birthday is today.
Yeah, I'll fight him.
Yeah, take him out. 6'6". You got about 20 years. He's got 20 years on you. You'd be good to go.
That's why I figure I was safe.
Michael Gambon, 78 years old. I only bring this guy up. I don't know if anyone at this table recognized that name. The motherfucker played Dumbledore in Harry Potter. Good man.
Yeah, we know the big old beard. No, no, the old man. You're talking about the old man.
Yeah, the old man with the big old beard.
Yeah.
Dumbledore, man.
Dumbledore.
Matt Stone's best buddy Trey Parker of South Park fame is 49. God damn it! That was very top notch, Carmen. You doing that, sir? And let's see here, John Lithgow, 73. Shit,
yeah,
not bad. Vander Holyfield, 56. God damn, that's a hard 56.
Yeah, those bits of him that Mike Tyson didn't bite off.
And the mighty Jon Favreau, 52. God, man, what happened to Jon Favreau?
I don't know.
Who was that guy?
He wrote what superhero fucking movie did he do? Iron Man. He did Iron Man, the first Iron Man. Yeah.
It was either that or Spider-Man, but I think you're right. I think it's Iron Man.
Yeah, it's but after that, it's like he wasn't a part of that shit anymore. I don't know. Might have been a victim of the Me Too movement.
God, I don't know. Or might be one of these like, hey, I made a pile of money. I'm going to sit back and celebrate.
Might be that. Hey, yeah, I'm making a lot of Iron Man money. I'm good. I don't need to create anymore.
Cashing out.
Damn right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the MMA.
Yeah.
The MMA
MMA portion of the show.
I'm still so spent
From 229?
Yes, I really am. And I think it's really more the fallout that's really caused me to kind of just be like, I don't want to look at this shit anymore. It makes it difficult to like go dig for cool shit because you're always going to like, oh, Khabib's dad said this. Khabib's uncle said this.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and for the UFC needs to be worried about your take on it. My take is that as much as I'd like to blame UFC 229, I kind of was really already taking a step back anyway.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's been I've mentioned it a couple times. Seems
Yeah.
like, the passion that was there, I would even say a year ago. It's dwindled down a little bit. I saw it, and 229, the aftermath kind of took it out of me as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but the problem is it's a promotion that is going to make fights not based on merit, not based on their own personal fucking rankings. They're based on what's going to get money in the door. Yeah. I understand it's a business. I have no problem with that. But why even then put out your rankings at each weight class? Why even have your pound for pound?
Right.
Why even have any of that if it's all going to be bullshit anyway?
Well, they have the perfect formula right now. They're the organization with the title belts. They get to set up the title matches.
Sure.
There's no other sanctioning body that does that for them, like in boxing.
Right.
There's another. The organizations don't put the matches together. The sanctioning body does.
Well, I mean, it makes perfect sense now. If you look at it, Gegard Mousasi looks like a fucking genius for going to Bellator.
The reason I bring that up is because UFC has the prime. It's like we can make whatever match we want. We can really put a guy that we think could be the next big thing in this business to fight the champ. They're squandering it.
Right.
They're told. I mean, like the Derek Lewis train is going to run into a brick wall in a couple weeks.
Yeah, fighting at 230 because they've got that card set up for Daniel Cormier, and
it's another Conor Khabib matchup. You got a guy who's nothing but wrestling against a guy who's all about that right hand.
Yeah,
that will change your life. I mean, he's done it. We've seen it twice.
It's going to be I'm not even going much out on a limb to say it's going to be a boring fucking match, man, because Cormier is going to get him on his back, and he's going to just work him and work him and work him.
Going to fight him like he fought Anderson Silva.
Yeah, and it's and Derek Lewis isn't going to have any answers for that. He doesn't have a great sweep game at getting back to his feet or anything else.
No, he can survive, though.
Yeah.
He's shown that. And while he gets tired as fuck in a 5-round fight, he can go 5 rounds.
Yeah.
If Derek Lewis doesn't knock out Cormier, I'd even give him like the 2nd round. If he can knock him out before the 3rd round, he's going to get it done. If it goes into the 3rd round, I just think it's.
I'm not betting against him. Dude's got too many 3rd round knockouts.
Yeah,
but
with seconds left. I mean, shit.
But
it'd be great. It would be great if he got it done.
But he hadn't fought a wrestler that wears your ass out like Daniel Cormier.
Yeah, that's true.
But
that's true.
But it's such a letdown across the board. For the sport in general. I mean, I really kind of need to take a little break, I think. And so if I only really focus on just the really big cards, the pay-per-views, and if that's really all I pay attention to for a little while, it might clear my head well enough to where then I can get into the minutia of the fight night cards and all the other shit.
I mean, shit, man. I used to be, if there was a fight on, my ass was watching it. Like be it a UFC Saturday bullshit card,
sure,
or even like a Friday LFA card or something like that.
Absolutely.
We searched that shit out every week. That was our first thing. Was like, are there any fights on tonight? No? Okay, well then we can fucking do whatever we want then.
Right.
But there are fights on. We got to try to get them on. I'm not that way anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with kind of, I don't even know what's coming up before 2:30. I just know 2:30 is the next event I'm really excited about watching.
I mean, the UFC have loaded up the end of the year like they do. They try to do that, and they've done it. Whether or not these fights hold, that's another story.
Well, because we have a problem with already with 2:30. One of the big, like the co-main, has already been pulled off.
Yeah, Luke Rockhold's been pulled due to a tainted taint.
Yeah. Old Luke Cuckold, he
burn.
Yeah, no, he's supposed to fight.
That beautiful man's going to come find you.
He was supposed to fight Chris Weidman, and yeah, the same thing happens. Surprise, surprise! A fighter from AKA gets roughed up, preparing for a fight, just weeks out. This happens almost every time, except for Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
And even that guy fucking gets injured once in a while.
Okay, he's injured right now.
Yeah.
He says that hand after the Stipe fight is not 100%. Now, I don't know if that's gameplay for the Derek Lewis fight, because the New York Athletic Commission, they're like, we know you're hurt. And we know Derek Lewis has a tough time making 265, and this dude just fought 2 weeks ago. They're wanting more medical information about both of them to clear him for that fight.
Yeah.
Because New York State Athletic Commission is a completely different creature compared to California and Nevada.
Yeah.
They'll let you fight if you're even mildly concussed.
Right.
New York, they're not going to let you do that.
No. Yeah, so if the co-main's already off,
Well, not off, just changed now.
Now
we got Chris Weidman fighting a Brazilian man.
Oh, well, and Weidman smashes fucking Brazilians.
I think Weidman's undefeated against Brazilians.
Yeah. Dude's 2-0 against Anderson Silva.
Yeah.
During Anderson Silva's peak, right? Well, at the end of the peak.
Yeah, I mean, legitimately beat him. He caught a cocky Anderson Silva that was bored with the middleweight division right on the chin and shut him down. Second one, I think Silva wanted to come back and had a little more power in him. But then, he wrapped his shin around fucking Chris Weidman's shin, and we know how that ended up.
I like that second knee he's got. Oh,
that's the worst injury I've ever seen.
A shin. Yeah, no, I to this day I can't.
It's tough.
I made a mistake of watching it once and went, oh, I'm not watching that again.
It's the first MMA injury I've ranked above Frank Mir breaking Nagira's arm.
Sure.
Because that one's just graphic.
That one, yeah.
That's brute force.
That was a lot of force, and then all of a sudden a pop. And it's like, oh, my God.
That's like, God damn, never have I seen a dude break. I mean, I don't watch a whole lot of the other shit outside of UFC. If it's on, I catch it. But I've never seen a Kimura that locked in and a guy not tap.
Yeah. Well, that'll learn you.
Does that mean Brazilians are brave, or does that mean they're not very bright?
Well, Nogueira,
that dude's just a fucking warrior, man.
Right.
He doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
He's a Conan. He's a Conan, a Brazilian Conan.
Well, and on top of that, back in those days, too, is that you would recover at your own pace, and when you're ready to come back, you come back. Now there are medical suspensions handed out.
They will make you.
Yeah. Wait. So, I mean, it's a different world than it was 10 years ago.
Well, speaking of that, Derek Lewis had to appeal his, because I think he had a medical suspension that overlapped the pay-per-view in November. He had to appeal to get that shortened to get on the card.
Yeah.
Which he clearly won.
Right.
So, I mean, it's possible to go to Nevada and be like, you guys are wrong. My doctor said I'm good.
It is going to be interesting to see what Nevada has to say about Khabib's $2 million and suspension for both him and Conor.
None of that's been resolved.
No,
none of that's been resolved.
That's coming up the 28th. I don't remember.
They have a date for a hearing?
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yeah, and it's within the next 2 weeks. I forget the exact date.
Yeah.
But that's when it'll all be resolved. Dana White already said that he, is encouraging the Nevada Athletic Commission to release the $2 million. He said if he was, if there was a fine, they should only fine him $500,000. It's fine. He said that
fuck the money, man.
He said neither one of them, neither him or Conor, should be suspended. I think he's going to be in for a little bit of a surprise. I think the Nevada Athletic Commission is probably going to put in at least a 6-monther. I think probably on Khabib. Conor, it's probably a moot point because he wouldn't be able to turn around a fight that fast anyway.
Yeah.
Because I think he'd be looking at 3 months.
Sure.
But I'd be willing to bet that they'll probably hang on to, if they hang on to all $2 million, they may not put in a suspension. I think it's going to be,
we're either going to take your money or we're going to put you on the shelf.
Yeah. And if it's the combination of the two, it'll be $1 million and probably 6 months.
God damn, that's a. Well, man, you fucking let your emotions get the better of you. And Khabib fucked up. Everybody fucked up.
Sure.
I even saw the video where Conor took a swing at Khabib's brother. I saw the video. Big fucking deal. Everybody lost their goddamn mind after that.
Absolutely.
Fight. And I don't even fucking like talking about it now.
No.
I know a lot of people are like, it's fine. It's been a couple. Yeah,
no,
it really isn't.
It's not because the fact is that it leaves a mark on the sport.
Yeah.
And the other problem might be, do you remember back, and you could really put this into the same realm as you would like politics. You remember before we have the current guy in the White House, it was a crazy thing if a politician actually insulted somebody. But now that's the norm.
Yeah.
That's normative behavior out of elected officials, is that everybody's calling people fucking names.
Yeah.
Just like this. So if this fight gets over with, and that's the danger that the Nevada State Athletic Commission runs, is that if they don't levy something against both Conor and against Khabib, they're opening the door for other fighters to go, well, fuck, they didn't do anything to them.
Well, because of Conor, we got Colby Covington.
Sure.
So, not everything Conor's done has been positive.
No, absolutely not.
And it's letting other fighters feel like, well, I can do that shit too.
It's turning into it's turning into a WWE mindset. The problem is WWE at least is scripted. This is some shit. There's some legit fucking rage.
Yeah.
And you don't want those fucking guys turning that rage loose, because then we're just looking at a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of chaos in a fucking octagon.
And it's not going to do anybody any favors. We're talking about it, but
not in a good way.
Yeah.
Instead of talking about the domination we saw at 239 or 229, we're talking about the bullshit that was left over from that.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. Here we are 2 weeks later, nearly. And it's that's why it's taking the wind out of my sails,
Yeah, a little bit, because the sport is now a lot less about the skills of the individual fighters and a lot more about the nonsense that may or may not happen. It has zero to do with the fight.
Your ability to build a fight and sell it. Yeah. That used to be a job for the organization you worked for.
Sure.
Not the job of the fighter.
That's the other problem too. I think it's a real lazy streak out of the promotion of putting it on the fighters. Hey, well, who you want to call out? Fuck, when did they ever do that? They never did that. And then, unless some fighter just got a little cocky and like, hey, this guy.
And
but now you have Joe Rogan or, John Anus or whatever his name is.
Old Anus.
In the octagon asking fucking fighters who they want to fight next. And it's fucking, it's lame. It's bullshit. And it allows the UFC to put up some kind of false
storylines.
Yeah. And it's, who else does that? McMahon.
Yeah,
Vince McMahon.
But that dude's his family's been doing it for a long time, and it's their job.
Yeah,
MMA, man. I don't think there's any place for it. Yeah, I get entertained with the fight itself. The build-up is fine. It's entertaining. The build-up is entertaining enough. It doesn't need to spill over into the octagon, man.
Yeah, and that's the problem. There are some great fighters in the sport, but they don't really toot their own horn. Look at fucking Gegard Mousasi, again, to use him as an example.
Right.
Not that I want to keep going back to that but that guy refused to be an asshole in the octagon. Oh, okay. Well, therefore the UFC figuring, well, he's not trying to sell fights. Let's let him go. Let's let him out of his contract, or let's not re-sign him.
And the dude's a killer.
He's one of the best at middleweight. The best middleweight in the world isn't even fighting in the UFC, in my mind.
No, absolutely.
Because that is either Gegard or it's fucking what's his name is fighting in ONE FC. The wrestler.
Askren?
Ben Askren, yeah.
Is he? I don't think he's middleweight.
He was welterweight. He's a welterweight.
Yeah, he's a smaller dude.
But but still, the best, some of the best fighters, some of the best talent in the world isn't even in the UFC.
Right. And Ben Askren they never had the opportunity to get, and they just let Gegard go.
Yeah.
They let Rory go.
Sure.
But and Rory's last performance against Gegard, that shouldn't be the measuring stick of how good he is. That dude fought probably a 205-pound man. And
well, there's two different weight classes fighting, and that's where we're going to.
That's a 15-pound jump. That's ridiculous.
But it's aggravating also because of the fact that we're now into the super fight mode where it's not good enough to fight people in your own division. You want champs fighting champs in other weight classes, and fuck that. Unless you're going to bring out like Cody Garbrandt and let him fucking fight.
No, he's busy crying in a closet.
Let him fight Amanda Nunes, at 135. I mean, that's the only.
He just want a hug. That's all they want. That guy's. But
that's what what I mean. It's ridiculous because two weight classes shouldn't be fighting each other anyway. Yeah. All right, like the case of Cormier. Hey, that guy used to fight a heavyweight, went down to light heavy, and then he's fighting a heavyweight again. Fine, whatever, but by and large, if you're trying to look at T.J. Dillashaw trying to get him to cut down to 125, or you're trying to get 155ers to climb up to 170 or whatever the case might be.
That seems to be where a lot of the super fight traffic is, between 150. I mean, we got the light heavyweight one. I wouldn't really consider that a super fight.
No, but the guy that's at the higher weight class has nothing to gain. Nothing to gain
other than cash.
The lower weight class, hey, they can take your strap, but
Yeah.
What did Stipe gain from taking on Daniel Cormier?
Nothing. Not even getting a rematch. No. Derek Lewis is getting a title shot.
Yeah. That's where we're at.
Stipe's getting fucked, and that dude was a legitimate champ.
Yeah.
I miss the days. I mean, like, we have no Mighty Mouse anymore.
No.
We don't have a fighting champion anymore. We haven't had a fighting champion in a new one in a long time, man.
Right.
And it really bums me out. All these fighters, as soon as they get that belt, like, cool, I'm going to fight every 8 to 12 months, and I'm going to make bank, or I'm not going to do shit.
Right.
Like, if you're a Diaz fan, you're clearly huffing paint. Because when was the last time we saw Nate fight? 202.
Right.
Last time we saw Nick fight? 197. That was a long fucking time ago. God damn it. I hate to feel this way about a sport I love.
Sure.
But god damn it, something needs to change. And I don't think going to ESPN is going to do it. And that's all I can say.
If for anything else, going to ESPN is going to make it even worse, because the fact is that now that's a platform where the promotion has told them, hey, we can sell this. We're pulling in this X amount of dollars. We can do this. We can do this. And ESPN's like, hey, that's okay, because guess what we're good at doing? We're good at pumping up our own shit.
Yeah.
And so you're going to get them basically doing the same thing. Hey, it's going to be a thing now. It's going to be who do you want to call out? What, at the fucking weigh-ins? Who you want to get?
I'm waiting for someone to be like, I want to fight you, Joe. And then Joe be like, well, you know what, motherfucker? Let's do it.
Yeah. Then somebody brings in a steel a chair.
Yeah, CM Punk jumps out of the stand, starts beating the shit out of everybody with a steel chair.
Might as fucking well.
Why not? Well, if that happens, then my ass just can go back and watch wrestling on Monday nights.
Might as well, because that's at least they're honest about what they're doing.
Well, Ruben left to go masturbate in the bathroom. He's back.
Yes, yeah. Well, Ruben's not biggest on the MMA stuff.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. You go back to every podcast we've ever done. We have had Ruben on. Like, once we get to the MMA shit,
dead silence.
Dude, just like, well, might as well just pinch the tip of my dick for a little bit. Well, let's get to our picks, gentlemen, and then we can. Ruben and I can get really drunk and you can
all hang out. And
yeah, we're gonna have a good Friday.
Yeah,
good Friday, good day.
So, quick question though about UFC.
Yeah, go for it, bud.
I mean, does it thrive on controversy like stuff?
Fuck like yeah, man.
I mean, you have drama build up like
Conor throws a dolly through a bus window, gets arrested, goes to court. gets a fight with the guy he was aiming for with that dolly, and they use the footage in the build-up for the fight.
Yeah.
I mean, God damn it. They love that shit, dude.
Numbers go up in the viewers.
Yes, that was the most bought MMA pay-per-view ever.
I mean, I hate to sound, I hate to get nostalgic, but God, once upon a time, man, the fights sold themselves.
Yeah. Once you heard a fight out, you're like, I'm already there.
I mean,
I don't need to hear anything.
You hear Chuck Liddell's going to fight Rampage? Shit.
My God,
that fight's going to sell
like,
itself.
Oh, we're getting Liddell Couture 3? Oh, well, fucking A.
Right.
I'm done. I'm already there.
on drama like the wrestling.
Yeah, it's getting to be that way, and I mean, all we can do is hope that they maybe make a huge U-turn and go the other way.
I think once you let the genie out of the bottle, I don't think it goes back in.
Yeah, I think you're right, dude. It gets to a point where you can't go back. You can't go home.
On to picks for the week.
Ruben,
what you got for beverages this
I'm
week?
drinking Budweiser. I think Ruben's drinking fruit punch, Kool-Aid.
I'm drinking Not Your Father's Fruit Punch.
It's very red.
5.0%.
5.0%?
5.0%.
How's it taste?
It's like Hawaiian Punch with a little bit of
little bit of liquor in there. I'll put a little Basil Hayden in there, bump it up.
A little liquor ball sandwich in there.
Yeah, I'm going Budweiser.
The old Topo Chico with the lime is where I'm at, but hey, what can you do? Sobriety does crazy things.
Sobriety's a motherfucker, ain't it?
Yeah.
What are we listening to, gentlemen? What's your metal pick of the week?
We're gonna jam. Are we gonna jam some of the stuff we talked about on the show, like the Greta Van Fleet? We're gonna jam.
We'll listen to Greta Van Fleet. I don't know.
Check out some of the new Disturbed.
Maybe Disturbed.
Maybe.
I don't know. It depends. If I'm really drunk, then I don't care.
Well, at least that Greta Van Fleet definitely.
Oh yeah, dude. We're gonna be.
I want to scoop out that new album.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Jerry Cantrell solo stuff, like Boggy Creek.
Yeah, shit. Now you mentioned Jerry Cantrell, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Rainier Fog.
You put Brandon,
the entire Rainier Fog
Brandon
album
in his own.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's a Rainier Fog night.
How old is Rainier Fog? It's like over 2 months old.
Still brand new.
Yeah, let's see. What is this? October came out in August, so
yeah, like in goddamn
2
man,
months. 2 months.
That album is brand new to me every day.
We'll be jamming that tonight too.
Oh fuck yeah!
Take a fucking road trip. Go to Newkirk, Oklahoma, and see him tomorrow night.
Yeah.
That's basically driving to fucking Missouri.
Yeah, the motherfuckers shredded about an hour and a half outside of Denver yesterday. Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, shit, they're even closer in a place that's even harder to get to in Oklahoma on Sunday. But fuck, I got a day job. So
yeah, fuck yeah, there's other shit we got to do. It'd be nice to be able to just be like, oh, I love that band. I already seen them, but I want to go see them again.
Yeah.
But yeah, MMA. I
loaded up in the library off of UFC Fight Pass and check out Derek Lewis and who's Ronda Rousey's girlfriend?
Travis Brown.
Travis Brown. Yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah, that's one of the fights though. Like you do want to see the ass beaten, but stick around for the post fight. Yeah, if we're talking classics.
Well, because there's not a card.
Yeah,
so.
I know, and there's even if there was, I don't know if I'd suggest.
Actually, you know what? Here's one. YouTube. This guy, friend of ours on the podcast, Alex Pointer, Poinar. You Google his YouTube shit, or search his YouTube shit. He's crazy at 125.
Yeah, and
he's going to be fighting again here in a few months.
Good deal. And like the dude his BJJ is pretty goddamn lethal. It seems he's like a wrestler with legit Brazilian jiu-jitsu background.
Yeah, Alex Pointer at 125. That dude could probably be really, really dangerous.
Maybe we can, if that fight is solid, maybe we can get him on here on Skype or something.
Maybe that'd be great.
Because I know we tried to do that a while back, right before that fight, his first pro fight. But I guess something happened. It fell through. The opponent got injured or something like that.
Opponent saw his fucking YouTube videos.
Yeah, it's just like, no, thank you. My butthole hurts. I can't come into work.
I'm gonna call in sick.
Queue up Fight Pass if you got it. And watch the classic David and Goliath match, Pete Williams and fucking Mark Coleman.
There you go.
It's one of the greatest face kick knockouts you'll ever see.
Okay.
And one of the first, really.
Right.
Ruben, I know you're not really big on MMA, and do you watch boxing or anything like that?
Yeah, I watch boxing.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite boxing match or anything?
I saw that the recent big fight, the
Canelo fucking circus.
Yeah,
that dude just got a huge contract.
Oh, did he?
11 fights, $135 million.
You know who with? that fucking streaming company we got for Bellator.
Oh, really?
DAZN?
Yeah. D-Zone. The D-Zone is what they call it?
The D-Zone. That's a different website.
That fight with Triple G was close, dude. They went all 11 rounds?
Yeah, but you know what? In boxing, it doesn't matter because it's almost like wrestling. Even the boxers don't know the outcome, but the judges already do.
Yeah, most of the time.
Adelaide Bird, that's all I'm going to say.
Would you say it's rigged from the very beginning?
Fuck yeah, it is, man. Boxing is dirty.
Yeah.
Like before the fight even starts, the judges already know. Yeah. They're like, well, the decision's already made.
I think a few of them.
Fuck yeah, man. That first Canelo GGG card, Adelaide Bird had it, and in a fight that everyone thought Canelo lost. Adelaide Bird had it won, I want to say 9 rounds to 3 for Canelo. It was such a ridiculous, huge window where everyone else had it pretty close. And then she had it 8 rounds for him. I mean, it's bullshit, man. The boxing is bullshit. Teddy Atlas is right. Yeah. Every time there's a big boxing match and that guy and someone gets robbed, that dude just goes on a 5-minute tirade, and it's more entertaining than boxing.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, man, my beer's empty.
Yeah.
Some bitch.
Yep. I guess that's about time for us to wrap it up, although one observation for the week. What is it with fucking crazy women?
I wish I could answer that, man.
Me too.
No. I have yet to encounter one man claiming that he's got some kind of weird fucking extra sensory touch. Encountered somebody here recently, and they're talking about how they're an empath and all this other shit. And oh yeah, well because I can see these.
I can sense your feelings.
I sense all this, and you don't want to say. I said it's bullshit. You're full of shit. You can't sense nothing. You have crazy, wacky shit going on. You're telling your own story in your goddamn skull, and you're fucking believing it, and you're buying into it, and then you're coming around going, "Oh, I'm an empath. I see shit." You see nothing.
I call horse.
You should have fucking whipped that out right after my job died.
No, you took that.
Oh yeah, and by the way, Wes Nessman is an asshole. Just gonna put that out there.
Okay.
Anyone know who that is? It's a shitty ass DJ at FMX in Lubbock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's my new asshole of the week.
Oh, why is
he?
Yeah. I think he's far too opinionated about political bullshit.
Oh, well,
and
leave fucking politics out.
And it floods into his job. Yeah. But he wears it like a fucking badge of honor. You're a dick.
Yeah. I've put on the medal, not fucking shitty opinions.
Eat a bag of dicks.
That's right. We got 10 seconds to piss off whoever we can. Your mother sucks. Fortnite sucks.
Sexist bullshit.
Everyone's got dong.
Manginas and feminazis.
Good night, everybody.
Dating websites don't work. Fuck them.
This is where
plenty of dicks. Plenty of fuck off.
This is where we fade out, bitch.
Ah.